When you think of the UAE, what comes to mind? Oceans of oil or sky-piercing towers? The truth is way more insane. In just a few decades, they morphed from dirt-poor pearl diving villages into the ultimate luxury superpower. But the biggest plot twist? The flashiest spot of all doesn't even run on oil. Welcome to KNOWTERRA. Let's decode the UAE empire right now. UAE stands for the United Arab Emirates. To put it simply, their system is pretty similar to ours here in the US. Instead of 50 states, they have 7 emirates. After a long period under British rule, these emirates officially joined forces in 1971 to form an independent federation. When hearing the term UAE, I bet over 90% of us Americans immediately think of Dubai. Many even assume Dubai is its own independent country. The reality? Dubai basically acts as a massive magnet, a flashy Vegas on steroids, designed to draw in tourism and global attention. Meanwhile, the real powerhouse behind the scenes, holding the vast majority of the Federation's wealth and power, is its neighboring emirate, Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is so massive that it swallows up nearly 88% of the country's total landmass, sprawling across about 26,000 square miles, which is just a bit larger than our state of West Virginia. In contrast, the loud and proud Dubai is actually pretty modest in size, taking up a mere 5% of the pie. But when it comes to the crowd, the power duo of Abu Dhabi and Dubai pack in a whopping 92% of the country's entire population. So what about the other 5 emirates? They keep things incredibly low-key, kind of like those quiet Midwest farming towns you rarely see on primetime news. Take the emirate of Al Quwain up north, for example. Its population hovers right around a sparse 72,000 people. Want to put that into perspective? That's just enough to fill the seats at AT&T Stadium for a Dallas Cowboys game. To understand the insane wealth of this country, we have to dig deep into its past. About 100 million years ago, this entire Middle Eastern region was sitting at the bottom of the ocean. Millions of years passed, the waters receded, and the remains of marine life were crushed under immense geological pressure. This formed the greatest black gold treasure on the planet, hidden right under the desert dunes. Even so, the UAE was actually pretty late to the oil party. It wasn't until 1958 that they struck their first barrels, but better late than never. When they officially gained independence in 1971, this gooey black gold became their VIP ticket, taking them from a bunch of sun-baked, dirt-poor pearl divers to billionaire high rollers throwing cash around like it's nothing. This epic glow-up happened so fast and went so hard, it's exactly like a garage-based Silicon Valley tech startup suddenly hitting an IPO and becoming a trillion-dollar company. Even today, the entire Middle East makes up a tiny 3.4% of the Earth's surface, yet they are sitting on a massive 48% of the world's discovered oil reserves. But hold up, here is the biggest plot twist the media has fed you. It turns out, not everywhere in the UAE is swimming in oil money. It's true that Abu Dhabi comfortably controls 80% of the country's oil production. Their massive wealth relies heavily on this natural cash cow. But Dubai, the ultimate playground for hypercars and the most lavish parties on the planet, gets less than 1% of its current GDP from oil. Let me repeat that so you don't think your ears are playing tricks on you. Less than 1%. That rate is even lower than the tax you pay on a venti frappuccino at Starbucks. So if they're not riding the oil wave, where on earth is Dubai getting mountains of cash to fund this royal lifestyle? The answer? They played an incredibly brilliant high-stakes game. Instead of just sitting around twiddling their thumbs waiting for the oil wells to run dry, Dubai's leaders decided to pivot hard. They turned this barren desert into a massive hub for finance, IT, real estate, and most importantly, tourism. The tourism industry alone housed a solid 20% into the Emirates' total GDP. They proactively built a giant money printing machine, a literal Vegas on steroids that lures in the ultra-rich from all over the globe to drop their cash. This brilliant strategy is the ultimate proof that Dubai woke up early to a harsh reality. The oil underground will eventually dry up, but imagination and the ability to drain the wallets of the filthy rich, that is absolutely limitless. The vast majority of the UAE is pure desert. At the peak of summer, average temperatures can easily smash the 113 degrees Fahrenheit mark. It feels exactly like taking a casual stroll through Death Valley, right in the middle of a scorching July afternoon. But this country always knows exactly how to bend the laws of nature. Believe it or not, in a place that feels like a literal oven, sometimes it actually snows. Seriously. Up on the Jinal Jays mountain range, sitting at over 6,233 feet above sea level, you can occasionally catch the peaks totally blanketed in white snow. An absolutely insane natural contrast. The UAE's total population currently sits right around 11 million people, but get ready for this jaw-dropping stat. Roughly 89% of them are not even locals. They are expats, foreign workers pouring in from every corner of the globe. Half joking here, but if you're taking a walk down the streets of Dubai, your chances of accidentally bumping into a true native UAE citizen rocking a traditional white robe, a KNOWTERRA, are probably about the same as hitting the jackpot on a scratch-off ticket. The vast majority of the people sweating it out building those mega skyscrapers or closing million-dollar deals inside those glass towers actually hail from a totally different country. And don't even daydream that just moving here and sticking around will magically make you a UAE citizen. The grind to secure a passport from this country might actually be tougher than scoring a full-ride scholarship to Harvard. You've got to live there continuously for 20 years, speak Arabic as fluently as a native, and of course, keep a criminal record squeaky clean without a single scratch. This overwhelming flood of expat workers has also created a totally wild social phenomenon, a severe gender imbalance. Statistically speaking, there are about 2.2 men for every one woman. The reason is pretty simple. The vast majority of immigrant laborers come here to work in construction or oil extraction, which is heavily male-dominated. In familiar terms, the streets here can sometimes feel like one giant sausage fest. But what really makes the West tip its hat to the UAE's pure business hustle is how they are willing to bend the rules to keep that sweet capitalist cash flowing. In the traditional Islamic world, the weekend has always been Friday and Saturday, since Friday is the holy day of prayer. But guess what? On January 1st, 2022, the UAE pulled a massive U-turn. They flipped their weekend to Saturday and Sunday, shifting to just a half day of work on Friday. Why? To perfectly sync up with the heartbeat of Wall Street and the Western financial markets. They literally adjusted their religious calendar just to make absolutely sure that when the New York Stock Exchange bell rings, those brokers in Dubai are already on their phones closing deals. Now, let's talk about how the UAE likes to flex its wealth. If the American suburban dream is raising a good boy golden retriever or a sweet tabby cat, the ultra-rich out here like to go big, full-on Tiger King style. Scrolling through TikTok and seeing someone casually walking a Bengal tiger or a pet cheetah in their backyard is just your average Tuesday over there. And if a limited edition hypercar still isn't enough to make them stand out, simple. They'll just wrap the entire thing in solid gold from bumper to bumper, turning it into a rolling gold bar blinding you under the desert sun. But the absolute peak of this luxury flex has to be their law enforcement. While the NYPD or LAPD are sweating bullets chasing down criminals in clunky Ford Explorers, Dubai cops are out there patrolling the streets in absolute speed demons like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Audis, and even Bugattis. Sounds exactly like a scene straight out of a Fast and Furious movie, right? But the reality is way less dramatic. In fact, the crime rate here is shockingly low. These hypercar cops rarely ever have to floor the gas pedal to chase down some street gang. Their main gig is basically cruising around bustling tourist spots or historic sites. And their absolute busiest, most exhausting duty? Probably just smiling and striking a pose so tourists can snap a picture for their Instagram. And for our final segment, we are going to tour some of the most iconic structures in the UAE, the vast majority of which sit right in Dubai. First up is the Palm Jumeirah, or the Palm Island. Dropping a massive $12.3 billion, they pumped millions of cubic yards of sand straight from the bottom of the ocean to build a giant palm tree-shaped artificial island with 17 fronds branching out on both sides. It's an entire luxury ecosystem sitting right on the ocean, fully loaded with mega mansions, marinas, and shopping malls. Every single villa on this palm gets $1 million ocean view, and even superstar David Beckham scooped up a place here. That isn't just architecture, that is the ultimate flex of pure wealth.
Second is the Burj Khalifa. You think the Empire State Building in New York is tall? That's cute, but the Burj Khalifa makes it look like a little Lego toy. Clocking in at a massive $1.5 billion, this tower pierces the sky at a mind-blowing 2,722 feet. It's 2.5 times taller than the Empire State. It's so high up that if you were standing almost 60 miles away, you could still spot its peak peeking over the horizon. To shoot people up to the observation deck on the 124th floor of a giant like this, the elevator system here is one of the absolute craziest on the planet, rocketing up at a speed of 33 feet per second. The time it takes to go from ground level to the top of the world is just over a minute, the exact amount of time it takes to heat up a slice of pizza in the microwave.
Third is the Dubai Frame, a massive, literal picture frame standing nearly 500 feet tall and over 311 feet wide, dripping in blinding gold with intricate patterns. It stands perfectly on the border between the historic, old-school Dubai and the surreal, hyper-modern Dubai, making it the absolute most epic check-in spot on the planet. For the UAE leaders, Earth is starting to feel a little too cramped and, well, boring. They know the era of fossil fuels is going to fade out, so their vision has now blasted right past the atmosphere. Right now, the UAE is one of the biggest players pouring money into space science. They've launched a mega project called Mars 2117. And no, they aren't just planning to send a couple of rovers up there to pick up some rocks. Their goal is to build a full-blown settlement, a real, functioning city on the red planet by the year 2117. The projected size of that city? Roughly the same size as the entire metropolitan area of Chicago. From nomadic people riding camels across the hot sand to the creators of a Martian megacity. That is the ultimate power of a limitless vision. So we can see that the UAE is living proof of one thing. If you have enough money and a vision crazy enough, you can literally bend the forces of nature. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to KNOWTERRA so you don't miss out on our next mind-blowing stories. See you next time.